thank you for being with us, people at home. Always enjoy your company. Wasn't it great to see him in action? And we'll catch you next time here in Chase Place.
Tonight, a very rocky welcome for Australia's biggest beef event.
The country's finest cattle go under the hammer.
Plans to build a CQ coal mine cancelled.
And a regional jobs bonanza.
Across central Queensland, this is 7 News with Brough and Katie Toney.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
One of the world's biggest and most anticipated beef events has officially kicked off in Rockhampton. Beef 2021 celebrates all aspects of Australia's cattle industry, while allowing our farmers and businesses to reconnect after a year of cancellations.
Trotting through the streets of Rockhampton, a man and his 800-kilo Brahman kick-started the Southern Hemisphere's biggest beef festival.
Where would you rather be?
Beef Australia is back, and it's been given the all-clear by Queensland Health.
While we've had some nerves and some issues arise, here we are. We've got great crowds, a beautiful day in the beef capital.
2021's event will cover everything the $15 billion ag industry has to offer.
There is a lot of confidence in the Australian beef sector at the moment. Demand for our high-quality Australian beef globally has never been stronger.
AgTech is in the spotlight this year as farmers seek new ways of beefing up business. CQ University is leading the way with a $200,000 grant from the federal government announced today.
So what we need to do is invest in the technology, the new technology that will give us the tools to protect our brand, but also to be able to give our consumers confidence about the provenance of our food and fibre.
CQU researchers are going digital with trackers. They're like Fitbits, but for cattle.
This technology is going to need a whole new sort of support infrastructure, and so there's definitely going to be some jobs becoming available in that area.
All designed to make our Aussie beef even tastier.
These are cooked to perfection.
Over 100,000 people are expected to walk through the gates of Beef Australia between now and Friday. It's the biggest event in the country since before the pandemic. Even the Prime Minister is getting a slice of the action. He arrived this afternoon and is expected to make a major ag announcement tomorrow. Isla Stanich, 7 News.
Charbray bulls weighing in at nearly 700 kilos each have caught the eye of the judges at Beef Week's commercial auction. More than 1,600 head of Australia's premium cattle went under the hammer for the record-breaking sale.
The beasts were unleashed for Beef Week today, giving producers a raw insight into what the industry has to offer, and the stakes were high.
It's the Olympics of the beef industry and everyone looks forward to it.
The Nutrien Livestock Commercial Cattle Championships saw thousands of the finest cattle parade the sale yards, but all eyes were on this pen of Charbray steers. Peter Quinn from the Essex Grazing Company at Middlemount is the proud producer of the Grand Champion pen, which sold for 423 cents per kilo. And genetics is everything. The cattle were on grain feed for 100 days.
This is the first time we've actually put grain-fed cattle into our competition. So to win the chocolates first to our ends, pretty exciting.
Joshua Heck was part of the team of agents who sold off the beasts.
They're just, as they were, they're champions. They had everything right, good carcass and what everyone's looking for.
Chairman of the Commercial Cattle Committee, Mark Howard, says the quality of the cattle is some of the best he's seen.
A lot of people like to use it as benchmarking for their cattle to see how they stand up, how they're going against, their fellow members.
Some of the cattle from today's auction will make it to the plate later this week. Lizzie Bird, 7 News.
Well, the next phase of the COVID vaccine rollout started today with all people over the age of 50 now able to get the jab. The AstraZeneca shots are available from respiratory clinics around the country, but it may take a little longer to reach regular GP clinics.
I certainly encourage patients to be assured that there is enough supply in the pipeline, that if you're over 50 and eligible, that you should really call up that general practice or your general practice, find out where you can get vaccinated and get started straight away.
So far, almost 150,000 people have been vaccinated against COVID in Queensland.
The Central Queensland community of Brough is celebrating after the company behind a proposed coal mine failed to submit an environmental impact statement by deadline. The controversial mine won't be going ahead after a decade of protests. The site would have been built 500 metres from the Dawson River. Farmers say it would have destroyed cropping land and contaminated drinking water. They're now calling on the state government to rule out any future mining plans in that location.
Surf lifesavers are calling for the official stinger season to be extended after a 10-year-old boy was stung up north yesterday. May usually signals the end of the season, but beachgoers are being urged to stay vigilant.
A day at the beach was enticing for residents who chose to spend their public holiday soaking up the sunshine on the sand. And while the water looks inviting, there are still dangers lurking below.
Coming into these cooler weather patterns and people can get a little bit complacent thinking that the stingers aren't out there in the water.
The stinger season typically runs from November to April, but as the cool weather sets in, jellyfish are sticking around for longer.
You look at the southern water, it's cold. They're getting Irriganji stings down there, so to say that the season stops in May up here to me just doesn't sound very logical.
66 Queenslanders have called an ambulance for a marine sting so far this year. Mackay recorded 18 of those, including a young boy who was stung at the weekend. But overall, the numbers are down. 155 calls were made last year compared to 193 in 2019.
Probably caught 3 box jellyfish in the net all season, and that previous seasons we could do that in one drag.
Surf lifesavers say entering the water is always a risk and beachgoers should always be aware of jellyfish. Ashley Twan, 7 News.
Job opportunities are red hot right now in regional Queensland, with vacancies jumping almost 50% in the past year. But businesses are struggling to fill the roles, as most require further education or training.
A dark cloud fell over Queensland's job market when COVID-19 hit. But a little over a year later, businesses are rushing to fill more than 18,000 positions.
It's across industries, it's across regions, so it's not just the resources regions.
We've got increased business investment, increased discretionary spending, supply chains being developed because of an absence of imports.
But there's a catch. While more jobs are up for grabs, only a select few people can fill them.
About 3/4 of the jobs are quite high-skilled jobs. They're sort of skilled trades and professions, so there's a lot of quite well-paying jobs that are being needed to be filled.
Economist Dr Kim Houghton says vocational learning opportunities need to be boosted across the regions.
If we can get people up the skills ladder, that lifts incomes, it lifts individual incomes, it lifts regional incomes, then there's more spending.
It's also on the state government's radar, with skills and training to play a major part in Queensland's economic recovery.
We have $100 million, for instance, in new and upgraded facilities being rolled out for TAFE. So wherever you are in Queensland and whoever you are, you will have access to high-quality training.
Taylor Larson, 7 News.
Farmers have been offered free financial advice to help those still coping with drought. The federal government is ramping up support for those struggling with rising costs. But farmers are calling on the state government to lend a hand.
It's been a while since farmers have seen crops like these, and the relief can be felt across the state.
Farmers who are suffering hardship with the prolonged drought that we've had.
But it wasn't all luck. They got a little help from the government.
You've only got to go as far as the Jimba Plains, and they're still well below average and are struggling to get any crops, and they've missed 4 or 5 crops now.
The drought doesn't end after the first bit of rain. It actually will take 2 or 3 average years before farmers will be able to get back up on their feet.
The Australian government will spend $8 million to continue providing farmers with financial advice to help producers stay afloat for the next 3 years.
A long time ago we used their budgeting service, so you don't necessarily have to be in hardship to make use of the Rural Financial Counselling Service.
Some farmers say they've been lucky. They've had such a good year despite the lack of rain. And while they're getting support from the federal government, it's the state government that need to be doing more for grain farmers.
The state insists it's working closely with industry to improve ongoing support for drought-affected farmers.
Always take more support.
Kathleen O'Connor, 7 News.
Ahead tonight on 7 News, a new program to get women pedalling for fitness and friendship.
And the life-saving truck that could soon be passing through your town.
This is Big Brother. Your job is to not react.
Oh my God.
No matter what Big Brother throws at you.
The housemates will do anything
Oh my God.
to survive this night.
Come at you like a freight train.
But my biggest surprise is right above them. What will happen in my attic?
New Big Brother, tonight after Home and Away on 7.
Oh look, we're old school. We didn't do digital marketing. With Local Search, they helped me, they guide me through the transition. We've gone from 1 vehicle to 18 vehicles on the road. They made life easy for us.
Choices by Campbell's are your local flooring specialists with the buying power of one of Australia's largest flooring groups. Carpets, vinyl planks, rugs, tiles and timber. Friendly professional service every time. Choices Flooring by Campbell's, 51 Tanby Road, Yeppoon.
My car was just T-boned by this character.
Yeah, I don't like the game he's playing.
Congratulations, you win, my friend. Your car might not be able to repair itself, but you've got something just as powerful. Budget Direct car insurance.
Big cover you can depend on without the big price.
You may need a little less screen time, something.
Big cover without the big price. Budget Direct. Insurance solved.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
When families and school work together, children are more likely to do better. Catholic kindergartens, primary and secondary schools in the Diocese of Rockhampton partner closely with families to help each child experience success and pursue excellence. Affordable, well-resourced and characterised by care and respect for all, Catholic schools provide an exceptional choice in education for families and are committed to the best possible outcomes for your child. Inspired by love of God, Catholic schools make a difference. Consider a Catholic education for your child.
Central Queensland turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Welcome back to 7 News. A man in his 20s has been rescued after his car was swept away by strong flood currents near Byfield. The man managed to escape his vehicle but became stranded next to a flooded stream on Water Park Road and Sandy Creek Road on Friday night. Swiftwater rescue crews tried for several hours to reach him before finally bringing him to safety.
A custom-built truck will soon travel through regional Queensland, providing vital medical services in small towns. This is the heart of Australia's fourth one-stop shop, clocking up thousands of kilometres in remote areas.
80-year-old Brian Milner is from a small town in regional Queensland.
I thought I was fit.
Except he wasn't, and it was this truck which he saw on a flyer that helped save his life.
I rang up and we got in 1:30. Within 2 weeks of that, I was in hospital in Brisbane.
He had a triple bypass after being diagnosed with a heart condition by staff on the medical truck.
Well, if it wouldn't have been here, I wouldn't have been here today.
And soon the heart of Australia's new truck, aptly named Heart 4, is hitting the road.
We'll be able to head up to some of the more northern parts of the state,
including towns like Serena, Proserpine, Ayr and as far north as Cooktown.
It's a one-stop shop and it saves people a lot of time, a lot of money and a lot of stress.
This mobile clinic provides cardiac monitoring, sonography and even sleep diagnostic services.
Patients will need a referral from their GP to access the service.
The first 3 trucks have clocked up more than 500,000 kilometres, helping more than 11,000 people since launching in 2014.
Get in and get checked out because you can't tell what the old heart's doing.
Set to help even more Queenslanders long into the future. Matthew Carstunen, 7 News.
Women around the region are being encouraged to get on a bike and get the wheels turning for better health. A new program's been launched to teach the basics to women for free.
For Jan Boyd, the best part of the day is when she can strap on her helmet and hop on her bike. She's 78 and still loves riding. But she believes it's not something a lot of women want to do.
All the research says that women won't ride until they're confident. They don't like riding on the road, and they won't be learning to ride a bike in the public eye.
The Capricorn Coast Bicycle User Group is offering a free program to teach local women basic bike riding skills.
We'll be learning how to change tyres and how to make yourself comfortable on your bike, how to turn corners, how to give signals.
Helen Stewart is a regular cyclist and says women who aren't keen to get out on a bike are missing out.
Yes, it's something very joyous to do, to share with their families. It's joyous to do to share with their friends. It's very social. You can have a coffee at the end or in the middle of the ride if you want.
The bike program will run every Sunday for 4 weeks, starting May 16. The first one is at Yapoon's Sacred Heart Primary School car park.
We chose a car park at a school on a Sunday morning where there'll be no prying eyes, so it'll be very private.
Lizzie Bird, 7 News.
I like that idea. When you're ready, you just stop and have a coffee.
Exactly.
You girls, you're doing really well. Our Capra's women held scoreless, Nathan.
They were, Brough. Coach Amanda Ohl says her team's defence is improving despite the 22-point loss to Valleys on the weekend. We'll have more footy next. And the Rocky Rustlers, our best performers at the weekend's 47th Battalion Rugby League Carnival in Bundaberg.
Is it going to go down to the...
Meet the doctor with the gentle touch.
Wake up.
Who has lots of patience and very little patience.
You hear about this, but you never think it's going to happen to you.
It's head lice, woman.
Next patient. Doc Martin, tonight on 7-2.
Out here, we spend most days looking at lines, crop lines, irrigation lines. Yet we can easily miss the lines that matter most.
Stop!
Take care. Stay line aware.
In our busy world, we rely heavily on good communications. Capricorn Communications have been providing communication sales and service for nearly 40 years. From satellite phones, two-way radios to small business phone systems. Communicate better with Capricorn Communications.
Has your life been turned upside down by a work accident? Talk to Australia's #1 law firm. Morris Blackburn Lawyers will maximise your claim so you can get on with your life again. Call us now. It costs nothing to know where you stand.
The Australian beef industry is on show in Rockhampton from the 2nd to the 8th of May. Global speakers, product launches, the latest in agtech and great dining. Buy tickets and find out more at beefaustralia.com.au.
Love the luxury of beautifully handcrafted leather furniture? Be inspired by our range of leather seating. Experience pure luxury and functional comfort. And right now save on HB&Co's entire range of leather sofa and seating. Leather sale on now.
The all-new GWM Ute is up for the challenge. Born tough and built smart to give you more. More features, reliability, comfort and safety for less. The all-new GWM Ute. Go with more.
At McCafe, every 6th coffee is free when you order on the My Macca's app. Buy any 5 coffees and your next one is on us. Download the My Macca's app and start earning your free coffees today.
His transformations are world-renowned.
You're beautiful. So proud.
Now, Gok-Wan is setting out to prove
all of this is quite perfect.
that anybody can look good naked.
Every dimple, every scar, every wobbly bit.
If you do this, babe,
I can do anything.
you can do anything.
The all-new Feel Good series, proving everybody is beautiful.
We all look like this, so we should celebrate it.
New How to Look Good Naked, Wednesday at 9 on 7.
Welcome back to 7 News. CQ's rep rugby league players are finally putting their legs up after a gruelling 47th Battalion Carnival in Bundaberg over the weekend. The Rocky Rustlers were the best of the three, going through the round-robin games undefeated before losing a hectic semi-final to the eventual champions.
Regional Queensland's Rugby League stars donned their local colours and put their bodies on the line at the weekend, and the excitement was palpable.
You could see that they were just thrilled to be there, and the games throughout the weekend were tremendous, another level.
Reigning champs Toowoomba met a strong Sunshine Coast outfit in yesterday's men's decider.
Toowoomba went to an early lead in the grand final, but the Sunshine Coast were always there and kept bouncing back.
The big dance finished 20-16, Toowoomba backing the honours. The Clydesdales also came up trumps in the women's.
Toowoomba have won it now 3 times out of the last 4 years, so they are the strongest side in our region at the moment.
Rockhampton proved a threat throughout and finished third at the carnival, but are no doubt kicking themselves over what could have been. A strong display from Toowoomba's David Armstrong, who went on to win player of the tournament, rocked the CQ side.
Rockhampton were very unlucky not to make the men's final. They led 20 points to 2 in the match and got run down in the last minute.
Host Bundaberg took on Wide Bay in yesterday's plate final and came out 22-20 winners.
They're rebuilding, and they've got a lot of young players down in that area, and they'll regroup, and they won it several years ago, so they're on the way back up.
Queensland Rugby League say this year's carnival won't be the last, confirming Battalion will be back in 2022, with Gladstone touted as a likely host. Liam Bland, 7 News.
Sticking with league, and the CQ Capras women have suffered their 3rd straight loss in the BHP Premiership after Saturday's 22-0 defeat at home to Valleys. Coach Amanda Ohl says it was much closer than the scoreline suggested, with the girls squandering a number of try-scoring opportunities.
Being held scoreless at home wasn't much of a concern for the Capras women's coach.
Our defence was better than the best it's been all year. So I attribute that to, having Chelsea at the back.
However, they lost out down the other end of the footy field, though that's not to say there weren't any chances.
We had so many opportunities, but didn't manage to get over the stripes.
After arguably the 3 hardest games of the season, the Capras women have a good run into the finals, starting this weekend against Eastern Brisbane, where Chelsea Baker will have a licence to roam at fullback.
We win these next 3 games and we still finish 4th. It's just unfortunate that we've run into the top 3 teams at the moment.
In AFL Capricornia, Brothers have had a change of fortune with the way their season started, making it 2 on the trot against Bits.
We haven't won the first 2 games in anyone's memory at the club. Even in 2010 when we won the premiership, we lost our first 2 games.
The Saints chased down a 4-goal deficit in the second quarter before the Brethren bounced ahead in the second half.
Our problem was we stopped playing our style of footy. The boys were all very worried, and so at half-time we just had to calm down.
Meanwhile, the Swans beat the Bulls by 65 and the Panthers took down Gladstone. Connor Rose, 7 News.
And the CQ Motocross Series went west to Billawheeler for round 3 over the weekend, and it didn't disappoint. Luke Weaver was one of the most consistent riders throughout the event, finishing on the most points in the MX1 Pro class. In the senior women's, Nicole Kenny finished ahead of Kiralee Baxter after taking out all 4 races. The dirt-based track made things interesting for riders, though, with ruts forming early on during the first day. Round 4 will now be held in Rockhampton on May 15 and 16. Great weekend, certainly for Nicole. 4 out of 4. Not bad at all, guys.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nath.
Stay with us. After the break, Livio has all the weather details. We're back soon here on 7.
This is Big Brother. Your job is to not react.
Oh my God.
No matter what Big Brother throws at you. But my biggest surprise is right above them.
New Big Brother, next up on 7.
Our great tasting chicken menu just got tastier. Get ready for the Cheese and Bacon McChicken, the fiery Cheese and Bacon McSpicy, and the mouth-watering Cheese and Bacon Chicken Deluxe. Now that's too good to keep to yourself.
Check out this amazing job we've just completed. Greater roof span, less posts required, and our unique solid aluminium brackets lets us raise the roof while giving peace of mind building in our harsh weather conditions. We're local and we just build it right. Call now.
Asbestos, a word that strikes fear into anyone. Viramax Industries is licensed, insured and experienced. So when it comes to your most valuable assets, call the company you can trust. Viramax Industries, asbestos removal done right.
G'day, Sue. Join me for a walk?
I'd love to, but my legs are aching.
I had the same problem.
You need Revitive.
New Revitive Medic is the circulation booster that gets my leg muscles pumping, which could relieve aches and pains, swelling and now cramps.
Plus, it's drug-free.
It's truth. Someone got Revitive. And now discover new Medic Coach with personalised therapy for maximum leg pain relief.
This Mother's Day, get your new Revitive Medic.
Trend Interiors Tile and Carpet Court is the trusted name for floor coverings. Ask for advice about our fantastic range of products perfect for your needs and budget. Plus, take advantage of our shop at home service. Trend Interiors Tile and Carpet Court, corner Yamba Road and Main Street.
World steel and aluminium prices are on the rise. Patio World has limited stock at the current prices. Hurry, beat the upcoming price rise and get that new lifestyle you always wanted. Deal direct with the manufacturer. For your local Patio World now.
The Ascot Hotel Stone Grill. Absolutely mouth-watering, great steaks, fresh seafood and tender chicken. Come and try this truly unique dining experience. The Ascot Hotel Stone Grill in Musgrave Street. A great steak is only a stone grill away.
Cue the music.
James Spader, Candice Bergen and William Shatner as...
Denny Crane.
We look good, right?
We look great.
Rediscover the fun of Boston Legal. Streaming for free on 7+.
This weather report brought to you by the new Brown and Hurley Agriculture.
G'day, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. It's been a slightly shaky transition into May, but the ride is starting to feel smoother now as we look to the week ahead. It'll be our first taste of dry season. I wouldn't say bone dry, but there'll be plenty of sunshine and perhaps a little cooler on Thursday, Friday. Today's temperatures, the highest top was 30 degrees in Emerald and 25 was the lowest at Yeppoon, no surprises there. Humidity was substantial at 48% in Rocky. Now for the satellite loop, we had an upper level trough which is dominating at least the southern half of Queensland over the weekend, and it's now slowly weakening and moving out to sea. So all those big tall showers that affected mainly eastern seaboard areas, especially on Saturday, some pretty heavy falls, southward of about Gladstone. They're largely now easing and moving out to sea, but there's a few lingering ones. Even through the Whitsundays, there's one or two still coming, but everything's gradually loosening up. Now today's chart, you can see on the surface the receding high is starting to pull the isobars apart and the winds are already starting to ease. Although this offshore trough is a reflection of the upper system that's called all the recent rain. It's still lingering there. On tomorrow's chart, the offshore trough disappears as the upper level system moves out to sea. That's the end of that one. Very open isobar pattern over southern Queensland, so hardly any wind. Still a little bit of southeasterly trade flow in the tropics. And then on the outlook chart, the next in a series of fronts moves into southeast Queensland. This one could kick off a few storms before things clear on Thursday. To the latest now from the BOM, boating forecast for Capricornia waters. Southeast winds 15 to 20 knots in the morning, but easing back to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Virtually no wind left on Wednesday, and then on Thursday it's a south-southwesterly up to 20 knots. Tomorrow starts out with a late morning low tide, and you'll barely notice the rise to the high tide at the end of the day because it's such a gentle swing right on half moon. The Capricornia district forecast, a fine and mostly sunny day. 27 the top for Gladstone, Rockhampton 17 up to 29, Billawilla also 29, and for Yeppoon it's 26. Central Highlands and Coalfields, slightly bigger the chance than the Capricornia, only 30% though. Emerald 16 to 30 degrees, 28 for Claremont, and Moranbah 29. Looking ahead for Rockhampton, a lengthy run of mainly sunny days should carry us through the weekend. Temperatures mostly near average at first, but then dropping a touch later this week. So that's all the weather for this evening. Hope you've enjoyed your time off work if you were lucky enough to get some, and I look forward to joining you again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Sleep peacefully. Catch you soon. And now it's back to the team.
Well, thank you very much, Liv, and lovely having your company. Hope you enjoyed the long weekend.
A reminder, you can watch a replay of tonight's news on 7+. From all of us here, good night.
Good night.